When you think Porsche, it's all about performance, but this car takes it to another level.
Meet the Turbo S. It starts life as a regular Porsche 911, but with some major changes. Key to those are the rear wheel arches, which now sit wider than ever before. It's actually got a unique body, the first time that's ever happened in the 911 Turbo. It's designed to give the car more visual width, but also improve its handling and stability for higher speeds. So wheels further apart, bigger tyres, and a lower centre of gravity. And of course, as the name suggests, there's a turbocharged engine. Twin turbos on the 3.8 litre six-cylinder, all up 412 kilowatts of power and a hefty 750 newton metres of torque. The turbo also has some neat touches like rear wheel steering, so at lower speeds the rear wheels turn in the opposite direction to the fronts, but at higher speeds they turn in the same direction to give the car better stability.
And it's all that torque that makes the 911 Turbo S such a brilliant and easy car to drive on the road. Third throttle, half throttle, and it's pulling unbelievably strongly. Even from 1500 or 2000 RPM, you've got massive amounts of pull. And listen to it. Sounds sort of purposeful, doesn't it? You flick the Sport Plus button. A bit more bellow, a bit more beef to that exhaust note. Sitting here, there's not a massive difference from a regular 911. Plenty of headroom, surprisingly easy to live with day to day. Look in that rear vision mirror, for example, and I can just see that big scoop cut out of the wheel arch to feed air to the intercoolers. It's just a nice, subtle reminder that you're in something a little bit special. Sitting here at 100 kilometres an hour, the turbo is surprisingly docile. It's comfortable, it's smooth, I've got decent vision. It's everything a supercar really shouldn't be. But it's not just the power it makes, but it's also how it uses it. Of course, four-wheel drive, so floor the accelerator and getting all that traction to the ground is phenomenal. And it's a really smart four-wheel drive system. It can apportion all the drive to the front or all to the back, or a combination of whatever it needs. Basically, where the grip is, it'll find it. And for the first time, the 911 Turbo has active aerodynamics front and rear. You've got a front splitter that comes down at higher speeds or when you select Sport Plus. And the wing at the back also raises to different levels, again depending on how quickly you're going or what you're doing. But of course, all this performance and all this technology doesn't come particularly cheap. In the case of the 911 Turbo S, it's not going to leave you a whole lot of change from $500,000. That's a lot of money. But one thing you quickly realise with the Turbo is that public roads really don't do this thing justice. It's just too quick. One quick hit of the accelerator and all of a sudden you're doing the speed limit or more.
And what better place to test it on than a racetrack? We're at Bilsterberg, which is a privately owned track. It only just opened in 2013, and it was designed in conjunction with Porsche test driver Walter Rule. What a place to let the turbo rip.
So I'm here at a private racetrack where all those speed limits aren't an issue. And straight away, you can just feel the awesome pull this thing has got. 100, 200 k's an hour, it's incredible. And the traction out of the corners, that was about 120, 130, flat on the accelerator. And the pull it's got is incredible. That is seriously quick and seriously capable. The other thing with this car is the braking is nothing short of unbelievable. You hit them hard and it just digs the nose in and pulls up so quickly. And there's not a hint of fade with these ones, which are the carbon ceramics. An expensive set of stoppers, but they do the trick. You can see there. How about I hold this first? That's one thing with this car, is you roll up to corners, you just don't realise how quick you're going sometimes. It's doing 200 plus on its ear. It's 220. Dig the brakes in, incredible. And these big fast sweepers, the grip from these 20-inch Pirellis is pretty good. But it's also, I even turned the stability control off. It's just in sport mode, and it does let you get away with a fair bit, so you can start sliding the rear or the front. If you go in too hot and accelerate too hard, the nose just lifts, so it understeers or pushes at the front. And similarly, if you get the balance wrong, the tail will start to come out. But if you get it right, you get this beautiful slide thing happening with immense amounts of grip. You just don't realise how much concentration there is to make it go that quickly, because any mistake pretty much at that speed and it's going to be a big one. But it really is a phenomenal piece of kit for a car that is ultimately a road car. To be able to do this sort of thing, these cars are standard. Standard tyres, standard brakes, standard everything. And they're pretty quick. They're amazingly quick. And one thing with the 911 Turbo is just how quick it can get off the line. Now they claim 0 to 100 in 3.1 seconds. Let's give it a crack. Launch control on, flat on the throttle, and that is nothing short of brutal off the line. 140, like it is seriously quick. So yes, it is incredibly quick, both on a track, and acceleration from a standstill is nothing short of phenomenal. But there are other supercars that are maybe as quick, some will be a fraction quicker, not many though, but none do as good a job as this thing on being an all-rounder. This thing you can live with day to day. It can be comfortable, easy to drive, easy to sit in and just cruise around in. And when you want to, off you go. It is in a league of its own.